in the area where the cross circle made out of stones was found. I talked to the gentleman who actually dug it up, and the directions he gave me were around in here. This looks like it's been dug up and has a lot of stones. I wonder if this is it. There's some stones there kind of in a circle. Norm, the guy that dug this up, said that they wouldn't be there in any kind of placement anymore because they'd all been dug up, but I don't know, but this looks like it's been extensively dug. Of course, it could be water erosion too. We'll go on up the trail a little ways. Dude. Look at that Bigfoot monster standing right there in the woods. Weird looking head, arms sticking out. Bigfoot. And there he is again. And here he is, up close and personal. Bigfoot. Look at these little Christmas trees, aren't they beautiful? I'm kind of thinking that this is where Frank got the idea for the Mary Pilker Christmas card. Because if you look in these trees like this, you kind of get that image. And I think he was really copying these little trees and not the big ones. Yeah, up here in Donner Pass, I'm still looking for that cross circle of stones that the Zodiac killer left. The gentleman who did the digging said that it's straight down from that A-frame hut up there. There's a meadow. Well, that must be it right there. It's either that meadow or the one on the other side, which is the one we just looked at, which is right on the other side of those 3 trees, pine trees there. So I think we probably found it. There's not much left of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we found it. I did want you to know that the killer never said very much about the cross circle and the stones. He did tell me that where the punch hole is at in the Pines card is where they did a séance, and he said he left it marked there with stones, and he told me to put a cross there. But I don't think he told me about the circle. So, you know, it could even be around in this area here, because this is the meadow down from the A-frame hut. And this is the kind of an area where I could see Frank doing something like that. And you're kind of out of view of everybody else. And when I look at this over here, it could have been a group of these pine trees. Maybe those over there, if they're 50 years old, would have looked like this back then. And I'm thinking he might have got all stoned on barbiturates and marijuana and passed out here somewhere, and when he woke up in the morning, he would have been laying down somewhere looking up like that. And that's what he would have seen. And from close up, he could have dreamed and hallucinated the pictures that he drew on the Mary Pilker Christmas card. You get the same effect here with the older trees. But it really took some imagination, which he had plenty of, and incredible artistic skill. Not trying to say positive things about a murderer. It's all negative, but he was quite an artist, and he was a draftsman, and he was very good at planning. And I found a passage today, I'm going to see if I can insert it here, where he sent a note that never really got out, that said that his role model, he said that he got his cross circle from his role model, and he told me that that cross circle was used by Hitler and the Nazi Party. And then the next, I told him, no, it wasn't, it was a swastika. And the next day he told me, well, it was the neo-Nazi Party that used the cross circle with an eagle standing on top of it. And that kind of impressed me, because people have got negative with me about the cross circle not being Nazi. Well, it isn't, it's neo-Nazi. But here's another set of those limbs that gives you the effect that he drew into the Mary Pilker Christmas card. And just imagine that with snow laying all over it. You could draw anything you wanted in there if you were careful, and no one would see it unless they were seriously looking for it. And I do want to tell you something else. Now that I've posted some different things about the Zodiac and things on the cards that no one has ever seen before, there are people out there who have Zodiac killer websites who are making millions of dollars every year off of people getting on there and trying to get information. And they're very good sites, they're full of information, but they're blocking me from getting onto their sites, and they're taking off of the internet any pictures that look like they're clear and well defined, because they know I'm going to find more things in there and I'm going to clear up this mystery, and then their website's not going to be that important anymore. Well, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I mean, they got great websites and plenty of information, and you know, that information is going to be important forever. I don't think they understand that. It doesn't matter if I prove that Frank Lee Morris was a Zodiac killer. I would like for y'all to know that Frank Lee Morris was scared of his own shadow. He was a man so wrought with fear, inner fear, from the beatings that he had taken as a foster child, that he spent the rest of his life trying to instill fear in other people, because I guess he knew he was really in touch with that feeling of being afraid. And killing people gave him some kind of satisfaction over that. And again, I'm not justifying what he did, okay? It was terrible, horrible, wrong, and he killed some of my friends. If I could get my hands around his neck right now, I'd strangle him, and I'd have done it back then if I would have known that what happened to my friends was actually him murdering them. And I'm talking about little kids who really like to kill little girls. I found some information on that today where you know, as a matter of fact, that card that I inserted, I believe, is about a little girl that he murdered. I mean, I can't hardly handle that. And when I was 5 years old, I listened to him murder a little friend of mine, a girl across the street. She was 7 years old. You can look for that here on YouTube. It's a video called Little Karen and the Zodiac Killer. Now, if I could just go back and do it over, at 5 years old, I would have found some way to stop that. There's some other things that I haven't told you too. There was an alley in front of that house that went down to a gas station where I used to go to buy sodas and things like that, chewing gum, candy, potato chips. And they tried to catch me in that alley like 2 or 3 different times. I don't know how it is that at 5 years old I got away from these 3 guys that many times, but I don't know. And I think my entire life and my entire personality was changed by these because it's a type of abuse. I remember asking my mom why these people hated me so much. And I don't think she even believed that this was happening, because these guys would just come out of nowhere. I'd be walking down the alley and they would pop up out of the weeds. They were hiding there in the weeds waiting for me to come back. They were very patient about that. But one thing about them was they couldn't stop smoking cigarettes. They were chain smokers. So anytime I stepped away from where I felt safe, I would smell the air, and if I smelled cigarettes, I wouldn't go until I found the person that was smoking them. So our cross circle, I think, is right up there, just behind that tree with the gash in it. Let's go home. We're on the way back to the lodge. Just saw a little formation up there that looks interesting to me. Had to sit down and take a break. Let's go up and take a closer look. Interesting ways that Frank could have hallucinated the Mary Pilker Christmas card. I don't know if I told you or not, but my flight got canceled. So I'm stuck here for another 4 days, 5. Today's Sunday, I'm stuck here till Thursday. So my patience, please be patient. There's nothing in the world more that I want to do than to get there and help you. But there was no way. I'm 2,000 miles away, and even if I would have canceled the tickets and took off driving, I still won't get there till Friday. And with the flight I'm taking, I'll get there Thursday, and I'll be in the clinic on Friday. So bear with me, please. This is beyond my control.